Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Okay. Well, what do we got going here? A long overnight inventory, just slightly. Starting to correct a little bit lower now. You can see the bulk of the time and volume is above yesterday's close. It's starting to correct lower now. We are inside yesterday's range and inside yesterday's cost basis. So just look for that back and forth chop. It's been a choppy Globex session. And I did up a video that I'm going to post a bit later on. And the video goes to show you guys, even though there are, serious chop going on in this market, there have been opportunity upon opportunity to take, that look below and fail trade. And it's been there. It's really one of those things where that's a fail to look below. Here we're doing it again. It's been like this all day. There's been a 42 bid, a 43, 42 bid. It's been there all day. I don't know why it's there, but it's been there all morning. Now let's see if it holds, right? You can tell that there's a seller here. So if you are long, right, say you bought a couple of contracts at 43 and a half. Put some sell orders out, and see if it can get over that limit. See? Now, if you are long and the trade can't get over that simple straight line, what do? Right? Long 43 and a half, I sold 44 and a half, I sold 44 and 3/4. But if it starts coming back on me, then I know I can manage my expectations, right? So really probably the simplest way of trading that you guys will ever figure out. If you know where the sellers are, I had this big conversation with somebody this morning. They were like, they wanted to debate about, who's building a position and who's doing what. And nobody really cares who's doing what. What people care about is where's the bid? If I buy some here, where can I expect to sell it and make some money? That's what you should be thinking. You shouldn't be looking at the COT from the Chicago Board of Trade. All of that stuff is not going to help you make any money, right? Who's building a position, why they're doing it. All you need to care about is where the sellers are in the market and where they stop selling. If you can focus on that, right? I'm 43 and a half long. I sold four of my contracts. I'm out my last one at 45 and a half. So I just made a couple of points on that look below and fail. while I've been on you with you, right? It's the best trade. Hey, Jonathan, welcome to the room. You know, long 43 and a half, selling them here. It's it's really the best money you'll make ever make. You know, you take that with a couple of contracts and you make 400 bucks. You know, 5, 6 contracts. It doesn't take much. You know, it doesn't take much at all. All you have to do is to be able to focus and pay attention. The problem with retail trading is there's so much crosstalk and gibberish and all this sort of thing that's going to get you into trouble because it's going to take your focus away from the business at hand, right? The business is at hand is where's the bid, right? So even though the inventory is what 73% long, there's been a permanent bid at 42, 43. Oh God, for hours now, hours and hours and hours and hours. Who will was it? I think it was. Was it Ian? You know, I did a video on this. I'll post it, but I wanted to show you guys in real time how take the trade, take the trade and make money. Look, there's all you got to do is they're giving away money at 42. They're giving away money. Are you focused enough to take it, or are you getting sucked into everything else? Right? When in a trade and they figure to do cover and not mind? No. Here's what I do, Jonathan. So on this particular trade, right? I bought 43 and a half. Okay? My stop was here. I put my sell orders out. So when the market went up, it just executed my sell orders. If it doesn't execute your sell orders, you hit flatten and you're out. How did I get that balance zone? You're probably confused because you don't see it back in time when I did it. Where did I get it from? I pulled it from here. I pulled it from here, and I also double checked it here. This is when I got up to do our session here, just in here. So that's when I pulled this balance zone. It was just back and forth here. Now you don't have to use the same balance zone as me, okay? You could have used this as a balance, right? You can use this as a balance from 50 down to 42. You don't have to have the same balance zones. And then if you read the document that's in the chat on how to use balance zones, have you had a chance to read that, Nico? I'll send it to you guys again. One sec. Give me a second. Give me a second. Cool. That works. That works fine. Now, is that trade going to work again? Do you see how the offer is under 42 and 3/4? Now you just leave it alone, right? If you're looking for the next look below and fail, you're looking for here, especially if it takes out the middle, right? So right now you have no interest in buying it. Let them sell it, right? And if it screws around here, wait till it gets back up. Geez. And sometimes you miss it, right? But it found that bid. Man, it found that bid. Again, it found that bid. Okay? So there are buyers. Under 42, there are buyers. And we just went and proved that out, right? Even though inventory is long, when we put it on deep discount just down here and tagged the high 30s, look at the response that came in. Now let's see. If enough people are short underneath VWAP, this thing's going to pull, and you're going to be looking up here. Hey, Donna, how you doing? Good morning. That's where your next set of sellers are going to be. Right? So even if you got long a little high in the 44s, go sell them. You know? 3 minutes before the open, the market has told you where the bid is. If you know where the bid is and you can actually classify it, you're ahead of most traders, right? Even if you bought the 46s or the 45s and you're high and you're selling at VWAP, you're still making a couple of points. The premise of the trade still holds. You know, the premise of the trade still holds. What is class? This is a bid, my friend. When a market goes down and when it finds support, that's the bid. It's an old trader way of saying, go find where the buyers are. So that's not a bad, that's not a silly question at all. Yeah, it's just where the buying is. This is not a silly question at all. I'm just typing this out. So in the old days, before algorithms and everything, you could trade and do that. You could trade off feel. Also, they've seen people would have like a 30-point range. Very hard to teach, very hard to even get consistent on, okay? Very difficult. Now impossible, right? So now, right, to avoid hair loss and ulcers, now it's just best to let the chart more accurate, and you can manage risk way more, right? It's a lot simpler way to live. You just trust the chart. You know, the chart's telling me, like right now, it's telling me I can buy 45, right? And put my stop here under 44 and I can go sell one at 46 and 3/4, which I'm doing right now. And I got 2 contracts left, and I just sold 47 1/4, 47 1/2. And thank goodness I did that before this thing dropped. Now it dropped and it found the bid again. Look, look, bid, bid. Let's see if the bid's still there, right? You really don't want to be in a trade right before the open, right? Not unless you got a lot of money, right? Now, when this candle comes up, look where the seller is. The next candle is going to open in 30 seconds, right? Let's see if it can take out that bid because there was a hell of a bid there before, right? Is it still there? Look, look, right? Wait for the next candle. You don't have to trade the first minute. People who are DMing me right 1 minute at the open, please know I'll get to you as soon as I finish the sequence. Long 43, I'm selling the 45s. Long 43, selling the 45s. Okay, and I'm flat. Quick. A lot of money to hold against you? I'm sorry, I don't understand. No, I'm meaning it's just easier to trade and let the market tell you where to trade. Does that make sense? Me too. Right? It's a lot easier to let the chart. Now the chart's telling you we got a seller, right? So you kind of give up the idea of the 42 long, 43 long. Let's wait for a better price, or let's wait until it regains it again. We know we got sellers at 47, right? Look at these bids come in. Look at these bids come in. Now, if we got enough people short, you can buy the 46, 47s and offer them out at 50, 50 1/4, and you're out 3 points. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to have a lot of money and you got to have a lot of skill if you want to trade right through the open, through these big candles, because you can get crushed pretty quick. Like, so if you got a couple of $1 million, you can raise, risk maybe 10 grand or something like that. I wouldn't, I wouldn't really try and get cute. There's a lot of things people will do to try and, they think it's glamorous, but proper business people just see it as expensive. Okay? Take the boring trades, they make money. I promise you the boring trades make money. You can make a grand a day being boring, right? 60-point candles, yeah. What did I say? If enough people are short under VWAP, they're all going to come in and start covering, right? There's nothing glamorous about this. There's that poor high from the overnight at 67 1/4. If we take that out, your targets are 76 and 77, right? There's nothing glamorous about this at all. What's glamorous is consistently making money. That's the best. Consistently making money, even if you don't make a lot, you don't lose a lot of money that day, right? So you can do business the next day, right? Okay, so sorry, I just saw the chat in YouTube. I'm sorry, folks. I was typing along with the room. How much time do you give it before I decide it's not working? I actually let the trade tell me, right? If it's coming back past your entry, I'm not. If I own something at $5 and somebody puts it on sale at 4.80, I'm out. Okay. And the best tip for getting over the learning curve, there's things. There's focus, attention, discipline, and repetition. It's the repetition of the boring stuff that's going to get you over the learning curve. It's time and repetition. None of this is rocket science. It's always the same thing over and over and over again. It's a market. The chart's telling you how the sales are going. Right now, the chart's trying to tell you the inventory that was acquired here is going to be sold here. The people who shorted here helped push the market up when they went to cover. Yeah. And the other thing is, today we had a great lesson in focus. We had the morning session. After the morning session, one of the guys in the room, he wanted to debate with me on who was building a position at a certain time. And I was like, well, we're kind of busy and we want to make some money. So I'm not going to have that debate with you because it's a waste of time, right? We just want to make your money and get out. There's a lot of information that's going to be just completely useless. What you want to see is, where do they stop selling? Where do they engage in selling? And how do I get involved in between here and here? That's all there is to it. They stop selling here, so you buy some. You put your stop under here because if they sell it lower, then you own inventory that's mispriced. Okay? Very simple. They start selling here, so you sell them, you put your stop there. If you lose that seller, you're screwed. Put your bids down here. As the market goes down, your bids get hit and you cover your short. That's it. That's all you got to do. And when it's sitting in a tight little range like here, right, when it's doing this or it's doing this, just leave it the hell alone. Wait for your trade at the edges. Look below and fail. Look below and fail. Look below and fail. Or look above and fail. Right? And come into the room, we'll teach you. There's a lot of repetition. The thing never changes. Markets haven't changed other than they've become more efficient in the delivery of inventory. Algos now deliver the inventory to you instead of human beings. Much faster, right? Much more efficient. Just like robots in a factory. Factories still making cars. Here we're still delivering ES contracts here, just the delivery mechanism is automated. That's really all it is. There's no preferred time to establish a cost basis. You just want to look for that back and forth motion. Time and that back and forth motion will establish a cost basis. Whether it's a distribution cost basis or an accumulation cost basis. You can use either. The cool thing is they'll both work. You could use this or you could use this, right? Because it's the same product that you're selling. It's not like you're running a hair salon here and selling tires here. It's the same business. The chart is showing the business transactions of the same business. It's just showing you the movement of the inventory. right? Are we buying? Are we selling? Is it marked up? Is it discounted? That's all it is. That's all it is. It's real simple, okay? And you wait for your trade. You don't just go chasing every trade, right? Now, as we come back down, right? Say you wanted to short this, right? You want to wait for the next candle to open, right? And if you are short, like say you didn't wait. Say you shorted 56, put your stop at 57. Go put your buy orders in because there's going to be buyers right before VWAP, right? We're going to come into VWAP. See, look. So had you shorted 56, now you get a touch of VWAP, right? The larger the sell orders, the more it's going to push past VWAP because the buyers at VWAP will drop their buy orders. If supply starts to go away, the buyers will move their buy orders up. Anyway, VWAP's always a good place to cover, right? So Jonathan, what I do is I use the TPO to tell me where the inventory is. This is like a map of the city, Jonathan. Okay? This is like a map of the city. But if I want to do business in this neighborhood, I go right into the 1 minute. Do you see that? We know who the participants are. They're always the same participants. Dalton's concept of other time frame doesn't really exist in futures anymore. You don't have investment time frame in futures as much as you used to. Futures are a very speculative thing. That's why, do you see we have these huge big candles? That is the result of low interest rates and a lot of people having a lot of money and a lot of speculation. You have big size traders coming in, bullying the market back and forth. And the wholesale liquidity providers cut the size in the book because they don't want to take risk. They have to spread their risk over a much wider, huge range. So they don't buy as many contracts at every tick like they used to. So that's why you get these huge moves up and down in 1 and 2 minutes. So once again, these charts are telling me where the inventory is, right? Quickly. But when I trade off the 1 minute, right? I always trade off the 1 minute because I'm in this neighborhood. I want to see what's going on in the neighborhood. Looking at the TPO and trying to trade this is useless. Believe me, I tried for 10 years. You use the 1 minute candle because the 1 minute candle, I did a session with one of my mentoring students this morning, and he was like, holy crap, there's a lot of information on this chart. We were just looking at a 1 minute candle chart, and you could tell so much. All you got to do is pay a little bit of attention, right? That's all you got to do, right? So now let's see. Look below and fail of 42 3/4 again, right? I'll wait for the next candle. If the next candle opens in 20 seconds, right? See, this is why I want to wait. I want to see if the next candle opens and stays above 43. Then I can always buy it, right? I might be buying it a little high. This is the problem, right? You might have to buy it high. That kind of sucks. Let's see. 2 more seconds. The next candle's going to open. Do we get a bit of a sale? Right? Come on. Give me some under 46. Don't make me pay 46, okay? I bought 2 at 46. I'm out at 49 and a quarter. And I only had one contract. Damn it. I paid 46 and a quarter. And I sold the 49s. Right? I really wanted to get some under 45, but I just couldn't. Right? Sometimes you got to buy that big candle early, but I'd rather miss the trade. Only when you're really dialed in, can you buy that. Can you buy the 44, 45s and flip them out at 50? But we are going to rotate higher again, right? So say you're buying the 50s, sell them at 54. Get out, sell, right? Sell 54. Have an offer at 55 if you have multiple contracts. Okay? In this market, we've got a big rotation going here, my friends. Just trade this back and forth. You'll make a fortune. You'll make a fortune. Just trade it back and forth. See? Look below and fail. I mean, guys, you can't get any better than this, right? I'm taking a point here, a point there. If I was concentrating, I should have been long 45, 46, sold half it at 51, sell the other half at 55. Right now we have a look above and fail. Wait for the next candle, and you're selling the 51, the 52, 53s. I'm short 51. I'm covering 48. Thank you very much. Look at that. Right, I shorted 51 and covered like under 48. Guys, learn how to trade this way. You're done, right? You're done. You're done. Make your money and be done with it, right? Do you guys understand the concept of rotation now? When you get the big moves, it's a bonus. You're not looking for them. And here's the thing, Jonathan. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through something. Right? If you make 3 points on one E-mini, it's $150. Okay? If you do that on 5 contracts, that's $750. So you do one trade a day and you make $750 on 3 points. There's 20 trading days in a month. That's good income. That's 15 grand in income. I can tell you, of the traders listening who are not in my room, probably less than 1% of them are making 15 grand a month or more. Less than 1%. I probably guarantee it. Just get paid. Like, it's almost like people have this thing against making money now, right? They want the glory, right? If you want the glory, right? I don't know why you want the glory, right? I don't know. Maybe you want to be Paris Hilton. I don't know. I don't get it. I'll rather take the 15 grand. Okay. Now we're looking for, right? We're see if we can take out that 38 bid, right? Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with bigger moves. Right? You can't start and just say I'm going to make 100 grand a month trading. I'm going to turn down all business, right? You're going to be like those 1980s supermodels, right? I don't get out of bed for less than 20 grand a day, right? That's cool if you're a supermodel, but not if you're a trader. That's the problem, right? Right? So you could say I don't get out of bed for less than 20 grand a day. But I mean if if you're Elle Macpherson, cool, you know, but if you're a trader, I don't know, man. I don't know. You might be the prettiest trader on the desk, but you still got to make money. Yeah, these are big candles, man. This is why I try and get you to focus, Hex. This is why I try and get you to focus when it's slow and boring, so you have the skill to get in there and mix it up now. So you guys won't have the skill because you haven't done the bread and butter trades. You haven't done the work. When you do the work, then these candles aren't that bad. You can actually trade this, right? It's a skill thing. That's all it is skill. You just got to work up to it, right? This is why I tell you guys be fast. And people are, oh, JJ, I don't want to be a fast trader, right? Oh, I don't want to be a fast trader. Well, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, right? You know, you leave a lot of money on the table if you don't scalp. So, okay, position trading this, right? So position trading is when it does the look below and fail, you buy a position and you're selling it here. Right? Now, you know that there's going to be sellers up here in the 76s. So if you are long, say you're long 57, you if you are not on the offer taking advantage, right? You're fired, right? Now where's the position? Position's underneath 57. Now we're taking that position and we're going to try and sell it as high as we can, right? If we run out of buying, we have to drop the price. You will look for bids around 67. Yeah, exactly. LC scalped 5 point moves for 100 points in the rotations. That's beautiful. Good. You can do it. You just got to focus. Oof. What's next? Candles are getting a little small. Is it just me or are these A periods taking like forever? There you go. Elsie's been with me since the beginning. 1 to 10 ES contracts is just a beautiful trade size. A couple here, a couple there. On some really good trades, you're like 6 to 8 contracts. It's perfectly manageable. The instrument is liquid enough to take, 8, 10 contracts, no problem, right? And you can make some decent money trading like that, right? Now let's see. There's a little bit of a rotation here. Let's see if we can hold this 60 level and then 57 on the retrace, on the backfill. How old is my room? We're 6 years? 6 years. When I was short 51 here, I was using a couple of points as a stop because the candle's just a bit bigger. Yeah. No, the best way, but you can use bracket. You can use brackets. See, when you come in, like when you work with me one on one, I will actually do execution exercises with you, right? So we sit and we execute, and we do like exercises to make you faster. It's a skill. Being a fast trader is a skill. Just like learning how to ride a motorcycle. Just like learning how to play football, learning how to ice skate, learning how to ride a bike. Trading is a skill. It's a physical skill. So I train people like pilots are trained in a simulator how to react when something happens. I train you how to react when you're in a trade and it starts going against you. I train you how to react when it's going with you. I train you how to get in, get out, so it becomes like second nature. Nobody wants a trader who hesitates. See, in my business, if you're a trader who hesitates, you're a trader who's unemployed, right? So you've got to be fast. You have to be efficient, you have to be fast, and you have to be accurate. And if you're not, you have to work at it. But it is a physical skill. It is not just something that people are naturally gifted at. So don't let anybody tell you that you have to be naturally gifted to trade fast. That is complete and utter bullshit. Trading fast is a skill that you can teach anyone. You know why? Because if a child can play a video game quickly, you can trade quickly. Do you guys get what I'm saying? If your 8-year-old kid can play Call of Duty and wipe out people, right, on a video game because he understands the key sequences, you got no excuse. You should be able to trade fast. Because the kid sits at the console and puts hours into the video game. If you did the same with your execution, you'd be a hell of a fast trader. It's a physical skill. This is what nobody tells you in any trading room. Oh yeah, I'm a fast trader, and yeah, I'm kind of like a Mozart, it's a natural bullshit. It's not a natural gift. You got to work at it, right? I use the depth of market. Yes, the price ladder, right? And I've got videos that I show people how to do it, Jonathan. You put in your buy, you put in your stop. As soon as your buy gets executed, you throw your sell order out. Right. So right now, Jonathan, if I tell you 75, I'm sorry, 74.52 bid, 51 stop. You should have those orders in the system by the time I'm finished speaking. You got to be fast. See, now I learned how to be a fast trader because one of my very first clients was this horrible Swiss banker who used to call me at 3 o'clock in the morning screaming his orders out. And if I did not get his orders in the system within 30 seconds, he would scream even more. The phone doesn't ring more than once. And 30 seconds to call and put in verbal trades, that's not putting in like, you guys have it easy, right? And Nico, like in that one movie where the guy hands Antonio Banderas a sword and he goes, "This sword is too heavy." And the guy looks at him and says, "Grow stronger." Right? So if it's too big and fast for you, practice. Practice and get your skill up, my friend. Because I'm telling you, these markets are not going to get easier to trade. As we go into the next half of this year, these markets are going to be faster, more volatile, bigger candles. You have to get good. You don't care what it's doing on the DOM, William. You just use the DOM to put your orders in. When you are trading, my focus is here, right here. Actually, if I had it my way, I just have market profile here. It's kind of a marketing thing. People are kind of curious. Ooh, what's that, right? This is all I need, right? This is all I look at. And what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at the offer, right? We know we have sellers here, right? So when the market gets up here, where are they going to sell? Bounced off VWAP. Okay, there's sellers at 57 and a quarter. The next candle is going to open in 2 seconds. Do those sellers move down? And if we do get under VWAP, where are they going to sell to? Where are they going to stop selling? Right? See, look how the offer is moving lower. Boom, 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 boom. It's on sale. So if you had shorted 54, 55 against 57, you'd go and put some 50 bids and cover. That's a look above and fail. So now what you're doing is you're waiting for the rotation back down, right? As the market comes back down, you're waiting for this, or you're waiting for it to get back up over here, right? It's all you're looking at. It's all you got to do. So if you were short 56, why didn't you cover at 50 and take the 6 points? Because it's at 54 now. Yeah, it's just like location. Exactly, Jonathan. Now, see, like you're starting to have these light bulb moments. You've been in the room a couple of days now, and you're starting to get it. I can see it, right? See, the thing is, if you're going to trade the open or around the open is the one of the busiest times to trade, right? You can think of the open almost like this is like opening Walmart on Black Friday. Okay? So you get a big rush in and then you get this big people are fighting over TVs, right? You don't have to trade this. There's lots of opportunities before the open. Or you can wait until it slows down a little bit, right? Now, if it's too big and too fast for you, at least you have the intelligence to admit it and wait. And that is a good thing, Nico. You will get faster as you get more skill. Try and develop that skill because it will be helpful in the future. Because, folks, right now, these markets are very well behaved. Even with these big ass candles that we have, these markets are completely tradable and very well behaved. There will come a time when they become kind of badly behaved. And to trade those markets is going to take quite a bit more skill. So I would definitely tell you to take this time when it's like this to develop those skills. You guys understand what I'm trying to get at? Cool. I'm just saying change is coming, not particularly a summer thing. I think the next 2 years are going to be very challenging. Maybe even the next 5 years. There's going to be a lot of opportunity, but you're going to have to get your skill level up to keep up with these markets. And I'm not just talking you, I'm talking myself too, right? I'm not immune. I'm in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. Yeah, oh yeah. We all go through the same spanking machine. Okay? I mean myself as well. I'm not just saying this for you guys, I'm saying it to remind myself change is coming. Change is always coming in this business. It never stops. You always have to adapt. You always have to be able to see that change coming and adapt. That's why sometimes, Jonathan, some weeks you'll trade like a god. The next week you can't seem to trade your way out of a wet paper bag. You know what that's like? Everybody's gone through that, right? This week you're trading great. Next week comes and all of a sudden, boom, stopped out, stopped outs. What the hell is going on? Well, the market changed and you haven't adapted yet. It's one of the hardest things in trading is to change when the market adapts, to adapt when the market changes. Sorry. Right? To adapt, to see it, and to know how which tool to use and how to adapt. That's very difficult. It takes years. What we try and do, and we try and lower that learning curve. Right? So what we used to do, we used to stop trading, right? And that's true, right? Stop putting money at risk, right? But here's the thing. This is like a big warning light, right? Now we know to stop and analyze, right? We know that change is coming, right? For me, my test trades. If my test trades don't work, it means I'm missing something. That's good, Aaron. That's very smart. There's nothing wrong with that style of trading at all, right? Not necessarily. No. No. And that is the experience. So the look below and fail, look above should work in any market environment. No. In a down trading market, So if you're trying to do look below and fails, this is a really good. Actually, you brought up something really good. If you were trying to do the look below and fail here on this day right here, if you were trying to do the look below and fail, you would have gotten just destroyed. Do you see that, Jonathan? Because it never failed. It just kept looking below and looking below and looking below and looking below. So you got to know when to change it up. So this is trend down, so you can do maybe a short, and if it doesn't pop over like a 9 EMA or something like that, you can stay short and write it down. But a completely different trade than the look below and fail trade, right? So that's why we talk about being able to adapt to different markets. It's really good questions, okay? Because most people don't even think about this stuff. Most people don't even think about it, right? They just blindly trade and expect to make money. Oh, this should work. It has to work. Wait a minute. Well, it's a business, right? And maybe the business conditions have changed. That's why we trade and use the micro. If those trades don't work, we're like, oh, hang on a second. We're missing something. There's a piece of the puzzle that's missing. Obviously, something has changed between yesterday and today. Why am I off? Am I in the wrong place? Have I misjudged the price action? Is it too volatile? Is it too slow? Is there enough? Is there not enough follow through? Am I trading during a chart? There's all of that kind of thing that you have to consider. But we train you how to think. And that's why we do that 5-step method. So you do the same 5 things every day. So you know when something doesn't fit, oh, wait a minute, I'm trying to, fit a square peg into a round hole. It's not working. Oh, something's wrong. Gives you a warning sign, then you can go and double check and see what's going on. And this way you police your risk as well, right? I mean, why lose $300 if you can lose 30 and learn the same information, you know? I'd rather give up $30 than 300. I just get the same info. Yeah, it's in the I'll send over the link to the document. It's just simple 5 steps, man. Draw the balance zone, watch the balance zone, see if it works, test it on micros, and then size into it. Right. That's really all we're doing. We're doing the same thing all the time, all the time, all the time. Keep life simple. Now we're not doing anything. Now it's coffee time. Right? The market has told you now that it's time to take a break. Maybe look for a 43 look below and fail. When the candles start getting small, it means business is getting slow. That's all. Good questions this morning, folks. I like it when you guys are interactive. Yeah, that'll be it for this morning, I think. You could call this algo smoke break. Alrighty. That's it for me, folks. Have a great morning. Trade safe out there. We'll let you go a little bit early. Got to go run and do a podcast. Stay out of trouble. If you need me, I'll be around. Thanks, everyone. Oh, thanks, China Pug. Welcome. Yeah, trading is difficult. Right? Don't take candy from strange market makers, okay? And you guys are, you guys who show up every day. This is one of the hardest. This is actually the hardest job in finance is retail trading, right? You're outgunned, you're outmatched, you know. So I respect you guys a lot for showing up and doing it. Put in the work. Just keep it simple, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay? Stay out of trouble. Bye for now.